Well, welcome all my friends and associates and entrepreneurs. I'm Steve Carver. It's Thursday, September 15th, and this is my presentation. It's number 984. I appreciate you joining me on my journey, and let me go along on your journey as well. We got a good crowd with us already started in the classroom tonight. I want y'all to behave yourself and don't be passing notes and chewing gum in class, okay? It's kind of cool with these webinars. And, you know, I can put on my coat and my T-shirt, but y'all got to guess what I got on underneath, right? Well, you don't really want to guess, but at any rate, webinars are a lot of fun from that standpoint, in that there's a lot of practice. I had a class a few nights ago, though, where somebody got up and left their chair and forgot they didn't have anything but their underwear on. So I think I was the only one that saw that, but we have a lot of fun.
Wow.
So welcome. We're going to get started now. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm certainly not an accountant or a tax advisor. I'm a fellow that's been in business for 63 years and absolutely love it. I love it. I put in a full day working with my internet business, selling products to customers nationwide, answered lots of emails, paid lots of bills, actually had an interview with an entrepreneur one-on-one that was getting her business started. So it's been a busy day for me here in Dunn. I'm in Dunn, North Carolina. Many of y'all are in Clinton, so I'm 30 miles to the west of you over on Interstate 95. First piece of advice I've got for you is always get a second and third opinion as you're moving forward but starting your business. If you hadn't been there and done that, find somebody who has been there and done that, because they will be in a position to save you lots of grief down the road. Biggest mistake, the biggest happening that maybe affected me in my business life is that after my dad passed away, who had trained me, I went for about 2 years just kind of in a funk, didn't want to talk or ask advice from other people. I thought they would think I was stupid or afraid or immature. I had to get over that, because the very minute that I started taking on advisors that I trusted, things went really well, changed around. Tonight we are sponsored by the Small Business Center at Sampson Community College, and I want to tell you that is a great small business center because it's being run by Bart Rice there. Many of y'all are close enough, and if you haven't called up Bart and made an appointment yet, then I want you to do it, because it will be just like you got an extra free employee. I'm serious. Each and every one of you need to have a conversation and go into Bart and see that office. He's got a lot of resources he can share with you, and he's always willing to do that. So make sure you give Bart a chance to give you a hand. If you're not in the Clinton area, then let me tell you, there is a small business center near you, whether you're in Rayford or Charlotte or Durham or Dunn, wherever you are. Let me know, and if you have an interest in having a meeting with the director, it's a good thing to do, because they may know of some money that's available, or some free aids, or some goodies that might benefit you a whole lot. Bart's phone number here is 910-900-4025, and there's his email address as well. He'll probably join us sometime tonight, and we'll give him a chance to say hello. My story is, and I don't do less and less repeating as we move forward in the series, but I've been at it since 1959. Started when I was 12 years old, when my dad started a tractor business, and been at it ever since. I want to invite each of y'all, and I appreciate your returning back. We hadn't exchanged kisses behind the ear or anything like that, but or any rings, but let's go steady for another few weeks on these Wednesday, Thursday, even Tuesday night meetings. So thanks for being with us. Tonight it's about business planning. Next week it's about marketing. And I want to say to you, have you ever had to push a car when it ran out of gas? It's hard, isn't it? And you know, if you're on level ground, it's hard to push that car. Once you get it rolling, it's a little bit easier to push it, but it takes a lot of work. Now, if you have to push a car that's out of gas and you're going uphill, it is a big job, isn't it? Can everybody agree with that? Give me a head shake. I see. Yeah, what do you think? It's hard to push a car uphill. Well, it's hard to start a business when you're going uphill. And I know that. I've started lots of businesses and helped other people. And there is no way I'm going to tell you that it's an easy job. And because at first you're going uphill. Once you get your business plan in place, in a structure, and you're following it, you feel like you got a map that's helping you, things start leveling out, but it's still hard to push that car. But after you do it a while and you get some momentum and you add a marketing plan with structure, once you add the marketing plan with structure, then it kind of starts going downhill just a little bit. It's not easy, but it's going downhill. And as you get better and better with your marketing plan, then you'll see sustainability, but it's going to take your endurance to get you there. So that's what we're trying to do. After we go through the next Thursday night series, then we're going to have 5 more Tuesday nights to finish out the session. You'll have a chance to earn graduation and completion certificates and awards in both of the series, in the 7 series and also in the 12 series. Next Monday night, if you have an interest in barber shopping or in cosmetics or cosmetology or nails, we're going to have a person-to-person seminar over at James Brunt in Kenansville, North Carolina. So, Joanna, I hope you're listening to this, because from 6 to 8 over there, I'm going to do a 2-hour presentation on things to consider for when you're starting your shop or career in cosmetics or barbershop. And it'd be a good chance for us to meet each other. So let me encourage you, if y'all have any interest in that at all, is to drive over to Kenansville next Monday night, and we'll get to meet in person. I'll have a few refreshments there for you, so to hold you over till supper time. And then a next little bonus, next Tuesday night, I'll have a 1-hour short session on Tuesday night, a webinar that we're going to talk about the basics of bookkeeping. If you're just getting started in business and you don't really have much of a clue about what bookkeeping can do for you or what it's all about, next Tuesday night I'll have a 1-hour session on that. Now, these are complementing what we're doing on Wednesday and Thursday night. I gave this same program last night, and of course I'm doing it on Thursday night. So if you miss a Thursday night session, then you don't need to let me know, and I'll send you a recording of it. But if you're used to coming on Wednesday nights, you can pick it back up on Thursday, because Wednesday and Thursday nights is the same program. All right, now getting into the meat of it, your handouts included. Your main handout, number 984, is going with our talking points tonight. Then you got a list of all the program for the whole fall at Sampson, 40 drill skills, writing your mission, vision, and promise statements, and then some sample business plans that we're talking about. So that's time to do that. Now, I'll take a special moment right now to encourage you to know that you can find that self-confidence to move your business forward, because I want to tell you that a lot of people are doing it and have done it, and maybe it's not the first year or the second year, but you keep doing it. Angela's with us tonight. Welcome, Angela. Glad to have you on board. And she's getting closer and closer to getting her catering business up and ready to start running. So proud of her. I know she's worked at it hard for a long time. She's graduated from several of our series, and she enjoys the title of a Master Associate because she pretty much is learning it every time she comes back. Sarita is with us tonight. Sarita, I want to brag on you. Sarita has attended several of our series. She's a Master Associate as well. She's really learning her business techniques good, and she's done quite a bit of work for the Academy, and she helps us print the certificates. And one of the things we're going to really encourage you to do, and I've been looking at y'all's presentation, and every one of you need to do it, is to work on your videos. Introduction videos are so important in today's world. And Sarita put one together earlier in the year. Let's take a look at what she's got for us. Turn your volume up on your volume meter.
Hi, my name is Sarita Thompson, and I'm the owner of Taylor's Designs. I'm here to tell you about my business. I do virtual assistants, do business cards, logos, and I also do photography. I'm a graphic design student, and I'm here to help you with your needs. Give me a call at 910-379-9680. Thank you.
Sarita, that is absolutely wonderful.
Hi.
Your introductory videos need to be short and sweet, just enough to encourage someone to say, "Hey, I'd like to talk to her. Looks like a nice lady. Looking forward to it." So my challenge to you is I want y'all to start sending me copies of your videos this week. We're going to move from kind of feely nice and warm and snuggly to I'm going to ask you to start producing, start doing some stuff. If you just want to come along for the ride and not do the homework, you're welcome to do that, but it's not going to be my fault that if I don't try to encourage you. Let me tell you, during the first 2 weeks, we've had 46 people, just like yourself, including you, come on board on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. So happy to be working with all of you. Notice that I've got a little bit of information on some of you. Hey, Cheryl, there you are. I got your name and address. She's with us tonight. So many of you keep coming. But if you send me some information and give me a green light, I'll help start promoting you and your business right away, not only to show you how to do it, but to help you and to encourage the other people to get involved in the networking as well. Lots and lots of people on board with us the last few nights. Probably see your name on here somewhere. Okay, let me ask you to mute your microphones if they're on. Getting some background noise. I'm going to go by and mute a few myself. Okay, there we go. Now, Kelly, Jeremy, Sheila, April, and Natisha. Now, let's talk about some folks who have already sent information to me. They are doing their homework, getting some things done. Felicia over in Albemarle sent a great picture, so she's using this in her marketing. She's starting a professional business to help people with their bookkeeping and their record keeping. She's already named her business, got her LLC. So proud of her. She is working on her logo, isn't that neat? PR, standing for Perfect Records. And on her Facebook page, she's got a nice cover for it, Perfect Records Bookkeeping Solutions. However, she started, but there's nothing there that's encouraging people to call her up and do business. And that's what we have to carry this to, call her up and make her do business. Beth is with us last night and may join us later tonight. She's over in Dublin County, close to Warsaw. She is a registered nurse and a healthcare professional, and she started her own business, coaching business, healthcare coaching, Honeybee Health Coaching. She's been at it a while, but now she's branching out and doing her own business. Isn't that a neat cover for her Facebook page? Great signage there. And Beth has been into business long enough to know how important it is to win people's confidence, and has done a great video here as if she's talking to you about your health. Picture that, because what's important that I want you to do, whether you're in the IT networking business or event planning, you can't sell your product and your service till you sell yourself. And that's what Beth does so well here. So turn your volume up and let's see a little bit of her presentation.
Hello and welcome back to the Honeybee Health Coach. I am Beth. I just wanted to take a few minutes today and talk about why me, why pre-diabetes. So I'm an RN. I have worked in the health and wellness industry forever. As a teenager, I was a group fitness instructor, and I worked in a gym helping with personal training sessions and stuff like that. Those certifications have long expired. More recently, I have been working as a health coach, and I am a certified nutrition coach, and I am currently board eligible to sit.
So Beth has got a great voice, a great look, good presence, a wonderful bedside banner there, which I'm sure we all can agree. But you know what? I'm a business coach, and here's what I got to say. you want that good manner, that easygoing type thing, but you also want a sales counter manner in here somewhere, because we are about having someone pick up the phone and call us and give us some of your money out of their pocket. Yeah, that money in their pocket is your money, and we have to think that way. So when we're doing our introduction, we're going to show a lot of energy and encourage people to get in touch with us right now, and we kind of have to do that in a hurry. So we'll be working with Beth. She's got a great sales video there that for an introduction video, it needs to be short and sweet with a lot of energy. Katrina is on board with us last night. Katrina Bethay, right out of school, jumped right into entrepreneurship, went online with her Facebook and other media places selling products, and named her business Perfect Touch Apparel and More. I just love that, and so good, and she's on board with us tonight as well. So thank you for sharing that, and we're looking forward to seeing more and more from you. Read it, please. Small business isn't for the faint at heart. We're moving now from warm and fuzzy into the real life that all of us have to realize. We got to be brave and patient and persistent and have the endurance to overcome. So that's how I want to show you now, someone that's local to you, right out here in Sampson County. We're going to talk about Joy and James for just a minute. 4 years ago, Joy decided she retired from education business, wanted to start a second income to maybe pick up some extra money to enjoy a special date night or something. Didn't have too big a plan, but she wanted to move forward in a business. And James, her husband, also had the time to help her come on board, so he came on board, and they started working. They started at the same place you are tonight and took these classes serious, did the homework, learned that. They literally memorized the 30 drill skills. She changed her home kitchen into a commercial kitchen so she could do more baking and sell the products legally. Did the business plan, and then we worked out a marketing plan, which she followed. Got a presentation on Google My Business and started using Facebook incredibly well. And then, you know what? There's such a thing as cold calling. She went out and started giving samples out at different places where she knew she'd be able to sell her products. And she did what you don't have to do and what I have to do every day, and that is create raving fan customers. So Joy and James did it well. And here's some examples of what they're doing. She works real hard with her photography, giving the image. It just makes you want to buy something from her, with great products and great smiles. Goes such a long way. Came up with a good name for her business, which is Joy by the Pound, Joy being her first name, and by the pound because she specializes on pound cakes. Isn't that cool? Now, I've eaten several of her pound cakes, and I'm going to encourage you to buy some from her too, because it'll make you a hit with whoever you're serving a meal to. Here's her Google My Business account, which automatically started bringing business to her, as it will for you. Started investing in her kitchen, put in some double ovens, some commercial type ovens. Yeah, it takes a little money, but if you make the investments, you can get a return on investment. When you have enough ability to sell your products with volume, then you can set up tables like this one that she does at special events. She can serve as a caterer for people at meetings and conventions, where she can provide dessert tables for folks. It's something special to see someone move from selling 1 or 2 cakes a week to selling hundreds of items a month. Just lots and lots and lots. I'm so proud of Joy. At Christmas time, she's able to set up and sell products as Christmas gifts and such as that. Just an amazing lady, and she's right here in your neighborhood doing a great job. Joy's got a great smile. She sells her personality, does a good job with her videos on Facebook. So I want you, here's your challenge. Please make a note of this. Look up Joy by the Pound on Facebook and just search her history back for several years and see how she has grown and her expertise has gotten better. You will learn from Joy, and she's such a great lady. She wants you to do this, to do that. And it wouldn't hurt you, by golly, to drop her a note, let you know how proud you are of her. And who knows, you might even decide to buy something. You won't be disappointed. You're going to see Joy by the pound, because this is someone that has been right where you are now, took these lessons serious, and turned it into a serious, really good money-making business. So my question to you, my friends, my good friends that have been with me now for several weeks, where are your videos? Are you ready to start making them? I'm here for you. I'll help you. We'll critique them. So get your phone out after this is over and start making some introductory videos. That's step one to start moving forward, and the first thing I don't mention towards your homework. All right, some little tiny tips. Now, I don't be going 90 miles an hour, so I hope not too fast. So make notes. If there's something that you wanted to copy, it'll be in the handout or in the recording that I'll send to you tomorrow. Tiny tips of wisdom startups. Ready? Plan for the unexpected. Build a team around you can trust, a team of suppliers, vendors, customers, counselors. I'll be glad to be on your team. Just give me a chance. I'll be glad to help you. From time to time, things are going to go wrong. Doing the very best we can. Just know up front that we're pushing the car uphill right now, and it's not going to be easy. My job is to be assertive and to really encourage you, because I know you can do it. I've had over 500 people start businesses under my coaching, and I know that you can do it as well. But your job is to find the endurance to stay with it. Don't give up. You're hanging in there well so far. I'm patting you on the back, say thank you. Get on board and stay in the game. Now, what is the game here? What is the game? Is it to have a business that's making you $1 million a year? No, I don't want us to take so much rope that we hang ourselves. What I do want you to do, though, is to be committed to start making positive steps to get you to the next level, to move to that next place that you need to be. And we're going to talk about that tonight in our planner. What are those next steps that we want to do it? Communicate with me. Write my email address down and get used to checking email every morning, because I will send you lots of email depending on what you're doing, what you say. Once I know what type of business that you're in, if I have an idea or a handout that I think of, I'll just email it to you right out of the blue. So check your email and be willing to send me your homework by email, and that way we can move along. I don't ask you right now to find me on Facebook, Anthony Stephen Carver. Anthony Stephen Carver. Find me on Facebook. I want you to like me, be my friend, and that way I can find you. Man, it's hard to find someone now on Facebook with 1 million people having the same name. It's just difficult, because I've looked for every one of you, I promise you. That's how I found some of those earlier that I mentioned. I'm going to do my homework. I want y'all to do yours. So find me on Facebook, and then see if you can find my business page. My business page is 360 Business. 360 Business. Go there, sign in there so you can see a lot of what we've got going on. I want your photograph so I can show it to the class. You need to get ready to go public with yourself and your business, so send me a photograph. Any photographs you've got of your products or related to your business, send that to me as well. Why? Because when you're in business, my friend, you're going to be doing this every day, sending information about yourself and your products to your customers. So get used to it, get with it as part of what we do as associates and entrepreneurs. And the videos, again, I'm going to say, maybe the most important marketing tool that we've got to work with now are videos, and I will keep mentioning them and encourage you to send me some videos. The 40 drill skills. That's where you will find self-confidence and self-assurance. Just as Joy did, she memorized 30 of them. The 30 that's on video, she memorized. She came right here to my studio one night and sat down and named them 1 through 30 and told me a little bit about it and how it would affect her business. That is commitment, and you know what? I saw her self-confidence just skyrocket while she was doing that. So last week in week 1, we talked about 8 of the drill skills. We went through them pretty quickly. I'm not going to go over them again. It takes up too much of your valuable time. However, it is in your handout, and they're very, very important. I want you to watch the videos, go to your handout sheet with the drill skills, and then you can start linking in on the videos. Once you get to a video, you'll be on my channel, and then you can see other things as well. But number 7 last week was, by the way. The 3 most important words that we'll say during this whole 14-week series, by the way, is the key for you having upsells and the key for you having cross sales and a way that you can stack your profits. Right now, each and every one of you that has already started your businesses, have you figured out a product that you can add so that after you provide a service to your customer, have you got a product you can sell to them that they can walk out with? And the more products you have they can walk out with, the more profits that you have a chance to make. And at some point in time, you'll find that you're making more money on the products that you're selling than on the services that you're providing, if you do that well. Now, how do you catch fish out in the ocean? Remember that? Keep fresh bait in the water, the 3 rules. Number 2, keep fresh bait in the water. Number 3, keep fresh bait in the water. How do you catch customers? You keep fresh promotions out there in front of them. We keep fresh promotions in front of them, and we're going to focus on that starting next week and the 4th week when we really focus on marketing. How do you catch customers? You keep sending out constant promotions. The question is, Angela, do you know the answer to this question? What is the best way to find customers? Sarita, I bet you know what the best way to find customers are. Cheryl, you've been in business a while, do you? It's a simple answer, is help them find you. Help the customers find you is the best way for you to find customers. And that is the topic for our week 4 conversation, so make sure you're on board. All right, now we're getting started. Number 10, you can't be all things to all people. Our business cannot be all things to all people. It just can't do it, Joanna. However, it must be everything to some people. Our business must be everything to some people. Y'all say that now. Our business must be everything to some people. When you have those some people, they will become your raving fan customers. And they will be the customers that send other people to come and see you as well. Those of you that's already up in business and buying stuff and maybe have a little bit of debt, I want to caution you that I don't help you get your business rolling, and you'll see money start coming in that you haven't seen before. But I don't want you to take your short-term money gains and pay off your long-term debts. I want you to start right now, as your business starts improving, that you start putting aside a nest egg, that you start saving some money for rainy days that are going to come along or unexpected expenses. If you've got debt that's paying its own way, that's fine. That's part of doing business. Being in business is not all about paying off your debts as soon as you can. Being in business is letting your debts work for you. That's part of what we do. Tonight, we're going to do business planning. And we'll mention the words marketing and advertising a lot. And then next week and the week after, that's all we're going to talk about. But I want you to know there's a difference in the way we're going to talk about marketing and advertising. Marketing is the big picture. That's when we look at everything we're doing to promote our business all year long. Advertising is a focus point on something we're doing particularly now for a certain period of time on a certain topic or subject. So the marketing budget will always be the big pie, and the advertising budget will be a piece of that pie. Okay? Keep that in mind. Who's the toughest, meanest competitor that you have? It's the same one I have, and that is the distractions in our life. We've got so much going on that it's hard to do something new, right? It's hard to take on a new challenge because we're already as busy as we can possibly be. I understand that. So when I'm encouraging you to do this and do that, and we got to do this, and you don't maybe look at me and say, "Are you crazy as H?" To be sure, Steve, I can't do all that stuff. I'm just one human being. I know you can't, and that's why I have to say, pace yourself. It's my job to let you know all the options. It's your job to pace yourself. Don't get burnt out. Don't get burnt out, but start making progress. Start making progress. And how do you do that? It's easier than you ever dreamed. It's simply setting priorities and staying with it. That sounds like too simplistic, right? Well, let me bring it down to earth. Every morning when you're laying there in the bed and you hadn't quite woken up fully, but you can't get your head up off the pillow, I go through that every morning, it seems like. So I turn on the TV and let the TV wake me up a little bit. But while I'm laying there, I set 3 priorities of something I'm going to get done before lunchtime. Some important things related to my business, and I say I'll name them 1, 2, and 3 and say, all right, these are the 3 things I don't get done before lunch. And then I fight off other distractions until I get them done. Guess what'll happen? In a few days, you're going to find yourself, or you're getting some things done that you're just amazing yourself. Hey, you're checking things off the to-do list, and you've never done that before. Yeah, we all got a to-do list, right? My Norma's got a to-do list for me that's a mile long, and if I take one thing off, she adds 3 more on it. Well, I just have to let that list sit over on the side, because my to-do list is what it takes to serve you guys, and every day I'm going to do 2 or 3 or 4 things before lunchtime. Now, that means that it might be 3 o'clock before I eat lunch. Yeah, so I'm really wanting to get them done, but stay with that. Give it a try. You'll be surprised through the years how many people have said, hey, Steve, this thing really works. I'm getting more done than I ever have before. It's good. Okay, a serious moment. Do you know what fair market value is? That's a legal term. Fair market value is a legal term. Of all the prices in the world, and you can look at in the newspaper and hear TV, everybody's got a price on something. Well, there's no law that says somebody can't price their stuff for what they want to. But there's one price, there is one value that is the law. And we need to know that. Because as entrepreneurs, you know what you want to do? You always want to purchase below fair market value so you can sell above fair market value. Purchase below, sell above. But now you need to know where to find fair market value. So let's read this together. We'll do this a time or two again. And for you to graduate from this course, you're going to need to know this to be able to write it down or tell me in person without any notes. Ready? Fair market value is the price in terms of money that a property will bring when exposed to an open market between a willing seller and a willing buyer. That means neither one of them are under any pressure, and both of whom know the game. They're experts in their field. And when those two folks agree on the price of something without any pressure and without neither one of them actually wanting to buy or sell it, that's fair market value. And it's really important. Now, where do you see fair market value at? And maybe you didn't realize it. Every time you get a tax statement from the county and they got a value on your car or on your house or your mobile home, that is the fair market value. And who is it in today's society that determines fair market values for us? It is what we call appraisers. People that appraise, their sole job is to determine the fair market value of something that someone has to sell or is thinking about buying. Now, I'm a certified appraiser. You could be too. I can give you that information if you'd like to pursue it. Please take a minute and read this slide to yourself, because I want it to sink in. I don't want to pass over this without giving you a chance to absorb it. There's a lot of stuff I just move on and on and on, but this I want you to try to remember. Remember, the two parties are under no pressure. They're not planning on buying or selling it. They're just evaluating its value in today's market. The L and the H. Now, don't get mad at me. Don't turn your video off or shoot me the bird, because I do want you all to become great hookers. I want you to become a hooker tonight, because what we're going to talk about is the L and the H. That is the look and the hook. And this is all about your advertising and your marketing. The L and the H is saying we want a look that is up to par to hold somebody's attention. We're just not going to put ads out there because we want to put ads out there. We're going to think about what we're saying and build our ads to create attention so they will be read. And inside those ads, we're going to put the hook. This is where your hooker ability comes in. And the hook is the call to action. What are you putting in that ad that makes people want to call you right now? What are you putting in that ad that is encouraging someone to come and see you and spend money with you right now? Yeah. And we'll design those ads next week and the week after to show you how to make look and hook pay for you. When you are spending money on advertising and marketing, it is really important that you feel like you're going to get a return on that investment. Most people don't know that 99% of all money spent on advertising is wasted, gone, kaput. 99%. Because those people don't know what you and I know about the L and the H. When you start using the L and H theories and strategies to spend money for your marketing and advertising, you will stop wasting money and know that you're getting a return on investment. Now, how do I know that? Well, this old codger sitting right here at 76 years old has spent well over $6 million through the years promoting my business right here in Harnett and Sampson and Dublin counties. $6 million. Well, you stay in business 63 years, you can add up a lot of money. But I'm also man enough to tell you that I totally wasted 75% of that money, over $4 million. Now that's more money than I have right now, and I would love to have some of that back because I wasted it. But you know what? I have to look at it this way. It cost me $4 million to learn a lesson that's helped me make a whole lot more than that. And that's the lesson that I'm teaching y'all in this series, is to look in the hook. Because old Steve-O don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made and waste your hard-earned money. Who's the worst person in the world to take advertising advice from? The person selling advertising. They're interested in the company making a profit, but which company? Their company, not yours. So I'm going to approach this a whole different way. And I've said this same thing in giving seminars to advertising executives and advertising teams. You know, they've got a job to do, and what their job is not to take advantage of young entrepreneurs like you and I, right? So I don't help save you some money. The look in the hook. What does the L stand for? Look. What does the H stand for? The hook. And the hook brings them in. That's what we want to do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, man, remember these days, and maybe you've got some children you're doing this with this afternoon. It was tough learning how to ride that bike that first day with training wheels, wasn't it? It was tough. I can remember with my children and grandchildren helping them, the stress they go through to do that. But you know what? They are determined to do it. They see their friends, by golly, riding a bike, and it's so much fun, and I'm going to learn to do it. And that determination is everything. That's the way I feel about y'all. You see your other people getting in business and making good money and having security and feeling good about it. I look at you just as this person on training wheels, and I don't do all I can to get you up and running as soon as we can to cause you a little bit less stress. Let's move into it. We're going to look at 10 basic things. I may run out of time tonight because I only have 2 hours and I've got a lot to talk about, but still, I gave this same program last night. I'll be able to send you last night's video that you can see the whole thing if I have to skip something tonight. But we're going to focus first on 10 steps that you want to check off on your list to get started with your business plan. What is a business plan? It's a structured instrument to help you move forward. Let's just keep it that simple. It's something you don't have now. It's a structured instrument. Why do you want to have it? So you will not make a lot of mistakes and have unexpected expenses and pitfalls, and to tell you what's left. Say that with me, to tell you what's left. What's left, what's left. We're going to say that a bunch tonight. It's going to be a planner to help you come up with a timeline of goals and mileposts to move forward on. And we're going to talk about models, little models of income and expense items to go over. So, Joanna, I'm looking behind you at that cabinet behind you with all those colored bottles on it up there. Can you show that to us up there? Look at all those bottles up there. Each one of those bottles of different color ink or polish that you would use on your customers. Look at there. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that a pretty display? Each one of those to me represents a profit center. And each one of those represents you got X number of customers that are going to buy that. If we can determine how many they are, you're going to know how much money each one of those bottles is going to make you, because we don't call that a model profit center. We're going to look at everything you're doing and try to define it down so that we're spending on our money on what's making money and not where we're losing money. And then you know what we're going to do? We're going to learn to take these little models like Lego blocks and put them together and form a business plan, a structured business plan. Not something highfalutin, fancy, 100 or 2 pages, but a structured business plan to suit you. I want you to think about, if you're thinking about adding on partners or getting loans or something like that, there's some do's and don'ts that you don't want to do when you're selling stock in your business. We need to talk about that. As you move forward in your business, there's going to be some money to be spent. And if you don't have it, or you don't need to borrow. So we'll talk about that. Mainly, we're going to talk about funding your business, though, particularly that subject, funding and cash flow, in week 4, 3 weeks from tonight. So we'll give a whole program to funding your business. Do you have the confidence right now to walk up to somebody and ask them for the business? Do you think you're good enough at what you're doing that you can hold your own as a professional? Do you know how to close a sale? Have you got a menu of what you're offering and what the prices are? We need all these things to help you get your business up and running so that you can believe and trust in yourself and move forward in your business. Let's see if I can mute Angela's got some background noise here, excuse me. Why have that business plan? Let's not waste our money. Let's have a plan before we start taking risks. That's what I want us to do, to have a plan before we start taking risks. Black ink. Black ink is money coming in accounting and in business planning. Every time I mention black ink, that is going to be a smile on my face, because it means it's money coming in. When we talk about red ink, guess what that is? Money going out. Now we have to send money out to buy products. We're always having to do that. We have to pay our bills. So money's always going to be going out, whether money's coming in or not. The rent's going to keep on going. The phone bills are going to keep on coming. The car payment's got to be made. So whether or not we're making money in our business, we're spending money. So that's why we need a plan to make sure they stay in balance. 2 different functions tonight. One function, I'm going to talk to you about having a page, one sheet of paper, where we're going to list down what we need to be doing for the next 6 months, 1 month at a time. Now, you may decide to set it up on 6 different pages, a page for each month. That's fine. But let's keep this thing simple, because this is what we can achieve tonight. If you achieve getting your planner started tonight and you start doing some homework, I'm going to be so happy, because I know that we've got those training wheels whirling on that bicycle. We are making progress, and you're learning to balance your needs versus what you need to do skill-wise. So the first page is about a planner for 6 months. The second pages are going to be about individual pages for different profit centers and different expense items. Take a minute and look this over, if you will. Now, in your handout, it may start saying March 15th here instead of October 15th. So basically what it is, it's an example of 6 months. But let's say tonight, right here on September 15th, what are we going to be doing the next 30 days to get to the next step in our business? You may already be along the way in some of this. If you are, that's just fine. But I want you to be thinking to yourself, is when we stop this tonight, I've got a plan, a step-by-step plan for what I'm going to try to achieve during the next 6 months. Isn't that cool? That's what you want to try to do. So by October 15th, I want you to have a list of products and services that you're offering to your customers. Maybe you say, I don't need a list. I know what it is. I know all the things that I do. But your customers are the one that's got to know it. You got to be able to put that list in front of them with some prices and explanations to be able to start selling. It needs to be on Facebook. It needs to be on your website. It needs to be in your brochure. Make a menu of what you're doing. And here's the deal now. You're going to need at least 5 different things that you're offering. Not 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5 different things to keep your business sustainable over a long period of time and to start drawing in more and more different type of customers. The way your business grows is you bring in more customers, of course, and being able to say, and by the way, I can do this and this and this for you, and then you'll start making more money with less customers or with fewer customers. So do you have a menu now of what you can offer your customers? That's the first thing to start on. Then, you may be the greatest nail technician in the whole world. I bet you are. Or you may be the best caterer in the whole world. Or the best marketer in the whole world. But that doesn't mean that you're the best business person in the whole world, does it? I talked with a young lady today that's got a really great little business start. And was so happy to meet her and to work with her. And she does a great job with what she's doing. She's in the embroidery business and selling clothing and caps and advertising apparel. Really good job, good business. But she knows how to do that, but unaware totally of how to run a business. Unaware totally of how to get a business to grow. Unaware totally about how to capture a database. And all these are just basics, A to Z type things that if you've never had it training, I'm not faulting her for not knowing how. I'm saying that when she does acquire and develop these skills, I know that her business is going to bloom and do so much better, just as it will for you. What are the skills you need to improve on? The next 30 days, it's time to start a database. Next week, I'm going to start asking you to please make a list of all the people and all the email addresses you can find of your potential customers. You know who you've been serving before. Maybe a number of years you've got the same customers that are coming to see you, but do you have a list? Do you have their email addresses written down in a database so you can stay in touch with them? Sarita, have you been doing that? Angela, have you been making your list? And Cheryl, you got a lot of contacts out there. But today, if I asked you how many people are in your database, what's the answer going to be? I caught you, didn't I? Well, you're still on training wheels, and that's okay. But one of the ways we're going to get off of these training wheels and start rolling downhill with balance is for you to be able to stay in touch with your raving fan customers on a regular basis and encourage them to bring other people to you. If you don't have that bricks and mortar place, Joanna and other folks, it's time for you to be thinking about where is it going to be and what's it going to take, or is there someone I can move in with to promote my business? Very important. Let's be thinking serious about it and determine what it's going to take to help you move forward with your startup cost. The next 30 days on December 15th, it's time for me to ask you, have you got a business checking account? Have you got your LLC or your EIN number so you can have a business checking account and and maybe a credit line, insurance in the business name. Yep, you're going to need that before you get started. All this is prefaced on we want to be up and running on March 15th. Marketing plan. After next week, we're going to talk about what are the ingredients in a marketing plan. Next week, so important, and you might want to come on Wednesday and Thursday night next week because it is so powerful. Next week, we're going to talk about the marketing plan and how you are going to start making some decisions about moving out of your space and putting your message out to the world. That's what we're going to do. And in 30 days, I expect we'll be well on the way. How about a budget? If you want a return on investment, what do you have to do? You have to make an investment. If you want something different to happen tomorrow than what happened today, guess what? You're going to need to be doing some things different. And in marketing and advertising, it means actually doing a lot of look and hook. You see how we're connecting those dots? The look and hook's going to come into play. So, you don't have to be buying some stuff, negotiating rent, talking with customers on pricing, negotiating. How are your negotiating skills? Do you know the 21 different parts of negotiating? Well, you want to. You really want to know them so that it'll help you earn more profit, hang on to more money, help you buy stuff for less money. So important. And if you'd like for me to go ahead and send to you the study guides on negotiating, just put it in the chat board or drop me an email, and I'll be glad to do that. January 15th. Just, Christmas is right around the corner, right? January is right past that. So on January 15th, I would really love for us to start marketing your business in a serious way. The new year started. People are making New Year's resolutions, making changes in their life. It's a great time to come on board with a new business person. So I would say on January 15th, let's start marketing and getting some things done. If you have had to put some signs up and make some moves in your business, you know what we need to do? We need to make sure that you're staying within the codes, within the business codes of the town. Sometimes some things you can do this. Sometimes you can't operate a shop in your house. Sometimes you can put a sign up. Sometimes you can't. We want to make sure we stay legal and we know what the codes are, so we're going to study that. 30 days before we're wide open. So on February 15th, we want all of our stock in place. If we've got employees, we want them trained, and we want to start serving customers. We don't call that a slow startup or a soft start. Start making some practices, because you know what? I'm going to be so happy and thrilled when you call me and say, Papa Steve-O, come on down. We're having our grand opening, and I want you here to be with us and help us celebrate, and I will be there. I promise you, I'll be smiling, and I'll drag Bart along too, and we'll help you with it. We'll greet people with you. When you have your grand opening, you want a lot of people to come, be excited, so that when they leave, they are raving fan customers, and they're going out in the world promoting your business. Promoting your business. It'll have a nice ring to it. That's what raving fan customers do. So hopefully in 6 months, if that's what you want, you'll be making a lot more money than what you're doing now. And who knows? You may be bringing in so much money, you call me up and say, Steve-O, come on down to Key Largo. I'm having a weekend down here in Florida on the yacht, and I want you to come down and help me celebrate. Well, I'll be on there because I know you don't send me a jet ticket, right? So it's okay to dream big, guys. It happens with some customers and businesses. It could happen to you. It may take us several years to get there, but dream big and let's go for it. Let's don't be ashamed, because we're a hungry entrepreneur. So that is the planner. If I have encouraged you to do nothing else tonight in this first hour than to say, okay, I'm going to get started with my video, and I'm going to make a 6-month planner, one step at a time. Maybe you don't need to do all these items. Maybe you just need to do 1 or 2 per month. But at least become committed with a structured plan. Can we agree on that? Let's shake hands. Let's shake hands. All right, let's agree on that. Here we go. Next, we're going to talk about the models now. Now, this is kind of important that you got to pay attention. I'm going to oversimplify it by using this sheet of paper. For every business model you have, that is everything you have that creates money in your business, then you will call that a marketable profit center. And for each marketable profit center, there will be a place in the business plan for it. That place will be telling the business plan how much margin you're going to make with each thing, so you will not be able to estimate the income. That's what the business plan does. It helps you estimate how much income you're going to have, estimate what your expenses are, so you'll have an idea on what's left. Maybe you've been operating out of your home and just kind of, you're making money, you're bringing in money, but you really don't know how much your profit you're making, because all of it's just going in one place and you're not keeping up with it separate. You know, when we were teenagers, our parents probably put us on some kind of budget. They'd give us a little bit of allowance, but we had to do some chores to earn some money, and we had a certain amount of budget. And some of that budget was for entertainment, some of it was for school lunches, some of it was for ice cream, some of it was maybe to put in church. All of us had a budget that we had to deal with. Same way with your business. The budget is the training wheels of a business plan. So that's what we're going to do. So on each thing, we're going to have a sheet of paper. So look at your slide. We're going to have where it says selling what, that on every product or service up here. Like if you're doing a certain type of nail work or provide a certain type of service, you would have that on that line. We're going to determine what it sells for, how many we're going to sell, to tell us what our estimated revenues are going to be. Black ink, money coming in. Then we're going to try to estimate our red ink. What does each one cost us? What is our sale for that doing that? And what is our estimated expenses? Then we're going to take all of our black ink and subtract all of our red ink. And what we're after in our business plan on every line is what's left. What's left. That's why we're doing the business plan, to determine what's left, because we need some what's left to stay in business. And we don't call that number what? Revenue, profit, margin, deposits, earnings. It could be called all that thing, but not in my game. Tonight, all these business model earnings are going to be called margin. The margin. Profit margin if you want to say it, but let's just keep it simple and say the margin is so-and-so. On each model, we're going to take the margin that we come up with and plug it into our business plan a little later. So we've got several folks that of our 46 entrepreneurs that's been working with us these weeks that have an interest in starting a pre-owned car business, a used car business. And that's a good business to start with, mainly because it's big ticket items that you have a chance to make some money. So if you are going to be in the used car business, then you would go to an auction just like this. There's auctions all over the state where buyers stand around or sit around like that. And as the auctioneers roll these cars past, they bid on them. Some of them they buy, some of them they don't. But their intention, they're there to buy products to carry back to their business to sell to the public. Okay? You can see these auctions on TV too on some really fancy cars. So let's say that you're there, you're over here, you buy your car, and then after you buy it, you carry it home. You carry it back to Clinton or to Wilmington or to Faison or to Fayetteville, and you put the car that you just bought on your car lot. You clean it up, you mark the price up, and we start trying to sell it, right? That's pretty good business to be in. So the most popular used car in North Carolina today on used car lots, and I've talked to some dealers, the most popular used car is that car that sells for $6,000. You know, that's a car that someone would have, is maybe their starter car, one of their first cars that they get. Maybe it's a car for your child. Maybe you had a wreck and your other car is demolished, so you need to buy a lesser expensive car. But $6,000 cars on car lots are the ones that sell fastest and most. So a lot of used car lots, they're going to have even they may have some really expensive ones or some lesser cost ones, they will have some $6,000 cars because that's the meat and potatoes. That's the hottest thing going. So if you have a $6,000 car, and we're looking at 6 months now, ready? 6 months. I'm saying that you can sell 15 cars a month. 15 cars a month. If you do that over a 6-month period, that's 90 cars. Guess what you'll bring in? Over $500,000 in 6 months. $540,000 in revenue. 6,000 at a time. Now, when people go shopping at those car sales, the car dealer, the used car dealer, is not going to pay but $4,000 for that car. $4,000. He's not going to pay more than $4,000 for it because he wants to sell it for $6,000, and he needs some margin in between there. So if he goes and buys 90 $4,000 cars, he will spend what? $360,000. Red ink. 360 red from 540 black, that leaves 180K. 180,000 smackers. How about that for 6 months' work? A margin of $180,000. Now, is that profit? No. It's margin. That's money that he has to work with. But we would take that $180,000 and plug it into our business plan with this profit center for cars that sell in the $6,000 range. Follow me? Now, that same used car dealer may have a different sheet of paper for cars that sell in the $4,000 range, that sell in the $10,000 range, or in the $20,000 range. But the first money he's going to invest is cars in the $6,000 range because he knows that is the hottest market he has. What that is what I'm saying, that you will do the same thing. You'll determine what the products and services that people will buy from you and what they'll pay for them, and then we're going to try to have marketable profit centers to suit your customers' needs. Now, a lot of you, certainly maybe the most of you that are with me tonight, are not going to be selling products. You're going to be selling time for money. That's what I do. That's what you do. If you're not selling products, you're selling your time. That's what people that are pressure washing do. That's what lawyers do. That's what teachers do. That's what caterers do. That's what virtual assistants do. Sell time for money. Yeah, there may be some products and some things that involved in that, but your key factor is dealing with the human being a certain period of time. So now we have to determine, like we're doing nails, like you're teaching, like you're doing appointments with event planning, how many appointments can you manage per day? How many appointments can you manage per day? And how much value do you need to bring in per day for you to have a meaningful business that you feel good about? Now, if we're doing nails, we might be able to have 15 appointments a day, 25 a day. If we're a barber, you might have 40 appointments a day. If you're a cosmetologist doing hair, it might be 30 appointments a day. If it's a doctor, it's going to be one every 20 minutes. If it's a dentist, it's going to be one every 15 minutes. They see a lot of people. Don't spend much time with them, but those appointments are important. What you're going to do is determine how much your time is valued at, and that's how we're going to build a business plan. I want you to build your business plan based on 4 days per week. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 weeks per month. That's 16 days per week. I want you to be profitable at 4 days a week, 4 weeks a month. Why? Because I want you to have a life. I want you to have some time with your family. I want you to go to church. I want you to go to prayer meeting if you are persuaded to do that, or I want you to go get a beer when you're ready to. Whatever it is, I want you to have a life and be proud of the fact that you're an entrepreneur, and your family likes the fact that you have some time to spend with them. And if you have a business plan that helps you get there, it may not get there to begin with, but if that's your goal, there's a good chance it can happen. So let's set up now. This particular person we're talking about is going to have 4 appointments a day in their work. I think they're an event planner. They have people coming to them or they go see them. And if that's the case, in 6 months, they will have 96 appointments. So we're going to take the income and subtract the red ink to come up with how much what's left we have. See where I'm coming from here? So let's give this a try. Let's say that you're a graphic designer or a marketing service like Sarita is. That's her work. She's going to be doing graphic designs for folks. And she's going to have 4 appointments a day where people come in or she goes to them, whichever it is, and she's going to meet with or work with or do work for 4 times a day. And for each one of those appointments, she wants to earn $150, which is reasonable. This is in the game. It's on the low side in some places, the high side in others. But if that is Sarita's plan and she's able to pull that off, as I think that she can, she will bring in $600 per day. In doing that, over 96 days, she will bring in $57,600. 57.6. Her expenses are $200 a day. So the red ink is 19.2. 19.2 red, 57.6 black. $38,400 is what's left. $38,400. What do we call that? Margin, right? Not profit, but margin. Now, I have done the books and seen the work for some barbers who are bringing in $118,000 to $136,000 per year. I've seen some cosmetologists that are bringing in $200,000 per year. Now, I want to tell you, they've got some busy schedules. They do a lot of appointments, and they got those menus written out. Remember, I asked you to let's start with your menu. You got to have that menu written out so you can start selling it. And it's amazing for what a lot of folks that are in my meetings, in my series, with basic certificates of education, who do not have doctorate degrees or spent $200,000 in college, can earn the same money that some folks who went through that are earning. And the way they do that is with what you're learning right here, is getting your appointment scheduled and learning how to maximize it. Each one of those plans on that sheet of paper that you're doing will be that little building block that we've been talking about. Now, I've also given in your study guides, I go into a complicated plan, a plan of someone that's starting a private transportation business. And as your businesses become more complicated, you have more and different kinds of expenses and more and different kinds of, pressures that you have to account for. So I've given you a really complicated business plan in your handouts where we actually figure out the mileage, how much our cost is. We need room to negotiate. I've given you a really comprehensive business plan to study so that you can land somewhere between this most simplistic plan we talked about, and the more complicated you get, the more numbers we'll work with. Don't let this put you running down the street because you've just fallen off your bicycle with training wheels on it. Don't go running down the street crying, because making a business plan work for you is what we got to do as part of getting ready. So work with the basics. If you get to a problem area, you want to talk about it, drop me an email, let me know, and I'll be glad to help you work through it. We'll go see Bart if we need to. He'll help you with it. But don't feel like you're out here in the world right by yourself. You got plenty of people that want to help you at your pace. I've done extensive work in this handout that I've given to you. Always remembering that when we're getting started, you're going to need to set an income goal for yourself. pretty much every day and for every week. You got groceries to buy, right? You got rent to pay. You got bills to pay. You got insurance to pay. So you know what the minimum amount of money that you need to have. And then when we do that, we don't create a business plan that helps you meet your particular goals when we get to that what's left. But you got to have an advertised menu, whether you're doing services for your customers. You got to have a menu board for them to pick from. Cheryl's is in the event planning business, so her menu might be a certain amount of catering work. It may be a certain amount of plannering. She may go ahead and do the flowers. She may set up special events. She may have transportation services set up. There's a whole menu that you would do when you're doing event planning. Maybe rentals of tables, centerpieces, all kind of ways, services that are needed. And if you can put it on your menu, it could become a part of your profit picture as well. You got to balance the points between what you really want and what the customers are willing to pay, and what is in the middle of that, so that you're able to pay your bills. It's all about the profit margins that you're taking a shot at. Let me tell you, a lot of people want to pay the big price. Some people do not want the cheapest game in town because they feel like they're going to get the cheapest product or the cheapest service. It's better to have your prices marked up. The worst thing that entrepreneurs do is price their products and services way too low. It's better to price them up high and then be able to negotiate, find common ground with your customer. Because some customers will pay the high price, others will want to negotiate, and some will ask for that discount. Now they'll say to you, I don't want you to give any discounts. Nope, I don't want you to give any discounts, but I've got some more I got to say. The rest of the sentence is, I don't want you to give any discounts that you didn't plan to give. When you're doing your menu and you're setting your prices, we're going to learn how to set those prices up high enough to give you some room to negotiate and to discount, and for you still to have that profit margin you need to have a good business. That's the difference in being around a while and knowing what's really going on. Yeah, you go to the jewelry store, you see they're offering stuff at 80% off, or at Christmas time it's at 75% off. They knew Christmas was coming. They knew they were going to have to discount. I'm telling you, in your business, depending on what the nature of it is, we're going to put a price up there high enough that if someone wants the big ticket and they go first class, you're the person for them. But if also someone wants to negotiate a little bit or get the very lowest price they can, you're the person for them. What we're not going to do, and I will say this again emphatically, what I do not want you to do as one of my students is to operate with a take it or leave it attitude. Because what you're automatically doing or inviting your customers to leave it. There's always got to be some words or verbiage in there to let them know, let's talk about this thing. You know, if this is too strong for you, tell me what's good for you. Find a way and have that attitude so that you're taking advantage of every business situation that comes your way that you possibly can, as long as it fits your business plan. I hope that sounds good to you. Our goal is to put together these blocks, these individual models in such a way that we're going to put them together and have a business plan. We're going to put our income blocks on one side. That'll be the black ink. We're going to put our expenses blocks on the other side. That'll be our red ink, and move on with it. So what is a model? It's whatever you want it to be, depending on what, it's got 1,000 definitions for models. And it can be as simple or as complex as you want to make it. But I'm trying to make it as simple as we can so that we can take them in and take them out and end up with a business plan that's got a good chance of working. What's something costing you? What are you going to sell it for? What is that margin? Times the number of items that you can sell. You may make the very best banana pudding in all of Sampson County. And I'm a banana pudding freak. If you want me to try out your recipe, I'm ready to do it. But let me tell you, no matter how good it is, if you don't have enough people willing to pay the price, times the hundreds or thousands of pieces, all you've got is a really good hobby. And just accept that. Until you can turn it into volume times a lot of people to bring in a significant amount of money to make deposits, it's just a hobby that you're making some money with. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. No problem with that. But this planner we're talking about and this business plan that we're working on tonight, this is the way to move that hobby into a full-fledged business that you can really see a future with. Absorb this and let it marinate a few seconds with you, okay? See the black ink? See the red ink. Each one of those black ink lines represents one of these models that we've just been talking about. Each one of them represents a model. If you can see over Joanna's shoulder right here, you see all those colored bottles right over her shoulder there? How about those different colors and how they blend in with our slide? Each one of those bottles, I want Joanna to take a look at those, and in her mind is to be saying, I need to figure out how each one of these is going to make me money. How much money am I going to make with each one of these services that I provide? And then I don't know how many customers I need to see, and I'll multiply that out, and I'll end up with black ink from all those different colors. And then you're going to think about how much did each one of those bottles of polish, how much did each one of those bottles cost you? Now we're thinking red ink, because we don't have to come up with that. And the difference in the two is margin, and that margin, see my cursor? That margin is what we're going to put on that line right there. And then we're going to look at other services that you might be providing or products that you're selling. And each one of them will have a different place in your business plan, the margin they're bringing in. But irregardless of what that margin that they're bringing in is, we're going to look at this red ink around here, because we got to have a red ink line for rent. We got to have a red ink line for insurance. We need a red ink line for salary. We need a red ink line for other employees and training, and on and on and on. And if you borrowed some money, we need a red ink line for paying those debts off. How much per month we don't need to pay back, or how much in 6 months. Notice up here in the black ink, I put us a line, if we're going to borrow money or use our personal money to start up with, we don't have a line for that, because I want us to keep up with it. Just as Joanna here has invested a lot of money in what we see behind her and probably in other places, Joanna, you didn't give that, you're not giving that money to your company. You're loaning it to them. When you buy something that you're going to give to your company, like Angela's investing in her kitchen, spending some big money in doing that. And Perfect Touch is investing money in inventory. And Cheryl may be buying software to help her move her business forward. Sarita, I know, is spending money on computers and printers. These monies, I want you to keep up with them, because you're invested in your business. And a lender will have a lot more room and feel better about helping you borrow money if he knows you are already invested in your business. Now, here's the good news. If you list those investments in your business plan like this, your business is going to be able to pay you back that loan. And you're not going to have to pay taxes on that money when they pay you back. But you need to keep up with it. And you can charge your business interest on that money that you loaned them, and the business gets to pay it back to you as well. So It's important that you keep up with all these expenses because it will become assets for you as you do that. Now, next Tuesday night, if you can, I'd like for you to join us for 1 hour, same login time, and I'll be talking about the bookkeeping aspects that's going to be important to you. It's good that we can talk about them this Tuesday night because in week 7 weeks from now, we'll talk about them more in depth. But if you can get a little preview Tuesday night, then you'll understand better about what we're saying all along. So let's do this again. You see all these black lines? Each one of those represent one of your marketable profit centers. And also any money that you're investing or borrowing. Black ink, money coming in. You see all these red lines? That's money going out. One of them is going to be this marketing plan budget that we'll be talking about next week. Let me go ahead and tell you that I'm going to encourage you to think about 6.5% of whatever money you want to bring in, your total revenues, multiply it times 6.5%, and that's probably what you're going to be spending on marketing and advertising to get started. That's a question people are always asking me, so I'll go ahead and give you the answer to that now. We'll bring it into play next week again. So we take our red ink, subtract it from our black ink, and look down here again. What's left? What's left? Is that what you wanted for the income level of your business? Is that what you needed to make ends meet? Only you can answer those questions, but it's time to give it some serious thought. What we want to do is for you to come up with that income goal. Joanna, let's say that you want the income goal for your business to be during the first 6 months that you're officially up and running. You want the income goal for your business to be $60,000, $10,000 a month. That's just fine, and that's realistic. So what we're going to do is to try to look at our chart over here, and that what's left, we're going to start at the bottom and write $60,000 right there. And then we're going to work our way up. Because what our challenge is, as individuals with brains, is for the business to work for us, right? We want to try to make our business plan do our goal. Our goal isn't to try to keep the business alive, just to squeak by. Even though lots of times that's exactly what we'll be doing, and I know that because I've done it for 63 years. But to have the better goal helps you move out of that mode and out of that rut. So that's why I want us to do it. So you've got a chart in your handout that looks just like this, and we're going to look at it close. That it's got all of our black ink over here on the left, and that's got our red ink over here on the right. And you can take that and print it out and just start penciling in things that apply to your business and think about it. Okay? Once you get kind of a list up and some stuff, if you want me to look at it with you and give you some ideas, we'll be glad to do it. We get into it very, very deep as we go to there. See that word fundraiser? Maybe you hadn't thought about it yet, but I don't encourage you to have your own fundraisers to get people to help you get your business started. I'm not going to encourage you to go to the bank if we can help it. I don't want you to go in debt if we can help it. I want you to have some fundraisers. I want you to sell spaghetti plates and chicken plates and whatever else you're good at selling. I want you to have some fundraisers where you maybe sit out and you just do free nail work for people come by and ask for contributions. You might make a whole lot more money than if you were charging, if you get some sponsors. You just don't ever know. Get out of the box in your thinking, because if you need $5,000 to $10,000 to help you get your business up and running, I'm going to tell you there's a better chance that you can do it through fundraising than there is that you can go borrow money. How does that sound? You've got to open yourself up to that. Your profit centers here, right here, this is each one of those lines that we just talked about. We're going to be dealing with some taxes and commissions and interest, and you're going to have certain expenses to go with. Hello there. And training expenses, marketing and lease payments and utilities, lots of different ways that we don't need to pay our bills. Transportation, staff and interest, professional fees, Or you don't have some professional fees? Probably so. Maybe there is a lawyer that you need to hire, maybe an accountant, maybe lots of different things that you might need to do. But always with our business plan, we're going to be talking about what's left. Now, let's get started. Have you named your business? Have you named your business? Let's get started with it. You don't have to give it a name you're going to stay with, but I want you to call it something. If it's my business, call it something. Get in the mood to move forward. Have you written a targeted marketing plan yet? No, but after next week, you're going to get started. If you're going to be serious about moving forward, I want you to have an internet presence. You need it. And if you don't have a website, you need it. And we'll be talking about, let's get us a webmaster to help you get up and running. Now, this series is going to last until mid-November. And I will promise you that if you're jumping in this and you're doing your homework and you're getting involved and you're doing your videos, we will figure out a way to make sure you have a good internet presence before Thanksgiving. You may not have a website, but we will have you so active at Google My Business and on your YouTube channel and at Facebook that business will be coming your way if you've done your part. I'll do my part and Bart will do his. It's up to you to do your part. Business plan is a structure model. If you were going to college, to a business school anywhere in the world, the professor would tell you a business plan has 7 parts, and you have to have these 7 parts or you don't have a business plan. Well, I'm going to tell you that until you've been in business a while, maybe you can't even write a business plan. But you can do this planner we're talking about, and you can start on your business plan. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do tonight. Use the handout, use it as a template for yourself, and get started. Part number 1 in every business plan is the executive summary. An executive summary is kind of the appetizer. That's where you tell the readers what you're thinking about doing, and you want to get them interested in your business so they'll keep reading. You don't want to give them too much information. So the executive summary is the first thing that's in a business plan, but guess what? It's the last thing you write. In other words, you have to look over the whole meal before you can summarize it. That's your executive summary. But what can you do on a sheet of paper tonight? You start naming your business, start thinking about what your website name's going to be, come up with an income goal for our what's left, and now I need to ask you a serious question. We don't put that income goal down there with what's left after 6 months or after a year, and then I'm going to ask you how many hours per this period of time are you going to be working? What are you committed to do time-wise for your business? Then I will encourage you to take that number of hours, divide it into your income goal, and you know what you'll see? You'll know right away how much money per hour you need to be generating. And that is a real truth moment. That's when the tires, the rubber gets down and meets the asphalt, because it becomes reality then. Let's say that during the first 6 months you want to end up with $24,000. And then I asked you, how many hours are you going to work during that first 6 months? And you tell me 24. You're already busy. You can't give it but 24 more hours. Well, that's fine. But here's what we know. If you're giving it 24 hours and you want to make $24,000, we're going to know right now that whatever we're doing with our marketing and our business plan, it needs to be generating $1,000 per hour. Ha-ha. See how the business plan starts working for you once you give it the information that it needs to do. So you think about that. Company description, self-explanatory. You can read it and come up with all, but what all you really need to do is on a piece of paper is write down basically what you plan to do and go from it. But here I'll ask you to take your handout that I sent to you, because this is a good place for you to write down your mission, your vision, and your promise statement. Now, if you don't get a graduation certificate, you're going to do this for yourself. 6 simple sentences, and take the handout that I sent to you and write it down and send me a copy of it. It is a must. It's required that you think about this from the internal standpoint. Marketing and advertising is all about looking out to the world. But it is so much important, my friends, that being an entrepreneur is how you feel about it inside. What is your heart telling you? What do you want for yourself for the long term? And when you write a mission and a vision and a promise statement, it internalizes your enthusiasm about going forward as a business person. It puts you in a whole different light. I was just amazed. For years I've been teaching this, but didn't do it myself. But this past summer, after working with a really great group of entrepreneurs down in Pamlico County, I actually gave it a lot of thought, and I wrote my own mission, vision, and promise statements, not only for my companies, one for each one, but also for the academy, and found each time I did that, I become self-inspired, not in myself, no, not blowing myself up, but in my commitment to do things better and to share that commitment with my customers. In other words, kind of become transparent. If you do that, you will appreciate and enjoy the benefits of it. Like I said earlier, we need a list of what you're selling, and let's try to put some prices on it. We don't need to come up with what's left with black ink and red ink. Don't try to keep it very simple. Don't try to complicate things. If our business plan is coming up with red ink at the bottom, then we got a problem. We need to work on it. We can't spend more money than we bring in and live. What will we do? Well, first of all, we're going to add more profit centers. Second thing we're going to do, we're going to figure out how to add margins or increase our sale prices to do that. Maybe we need to find places to reduce expenses. Or possibly we just don't need to recalculate everything. But we're not going to throw that business plan away. We're going to change it till we get black ink down at the bottom. A lot of entrepreneurs will get started and just throw their hands up and say, this isn't working. I'm not about that. You're not about that. Sometimes people will come to you with a proposition, and maybe that's why you're thinking about getting started in business. This particular person came to another guy and said, I've got $305,000 I'll pay you next year if you'll buy a truck and a trailer and a driver and just haul my stuff from place to place. I've got a new marketing company, a new produce company. Angela knows all about this, where people get started up businesses. They have stuff to haul, and they'll go to trucking companies and make them a proposition. Well, this looked like a good deal because they told them how many miles in each month they were going to be driving. They told them what they would pay them per mile, and went on and on and on. And in this particular situation, was generating $305,000. Now, I did this 2 years ago, so this is looking at old fuel prices, no doubt. So today's numbers will be a whole lot more. But if you have a general idea about what your potential revenue is, then you can do this, as we've done here on these bottom lines, is figure out what the red ink's going to be. You know what the black ink is. You know what the black ink is, what the revenue is. But now let's list down all the things that's going to take money away from it to determine what's left. You can do this. We can help you do this. Maybe it's that startup money that's got you troubled. List down what you know. Maybe you don't know the cost of it, but let me tell you, between Bart and me and all the other people we know, we can come up with some good estimates on your cost on pretty much any business you're thinking about getting started in. But you don't need to know that startup investment cost. You've seen this before? We're always going to come back at the end of the day to plug in our different profit models, our different expense models on the red ink side, and searching for what's left. We're always going to come back to that. A structured marketing plan will tell you to do a market analysis. That is a study of the market in general, where it's been, where it's going, what the industry is doing. And Bart has all types of software to help you see a market analysis for larger companies. There's no doubt about it. And this is where he can really give you some great information if you're looking for a company that's don't hire a lot of employees or to get started. Market analysis work at the Small Business Center is real, and they've got the stuff to make it happen. But mainly, you just want to write down what area you're going to be serving, who your primary customers are going to be, what we call the low-hanging fruit. Go ahead and list down your primary competitors, because we're going to go back to them when we're trying to find out who the big kahuna is, so we can copy what they're doing right. Several of you have mentioned you want a bricks and mortar business, so let's start summarizing what that place needs to be, what size it is, what your budget or rent might be, what area of the community or what part of town you want to be located at. It's up to you to come up with that. But now, what are your marketing tools? And look here, the stuff we got going on in this series, we'll fill that line up with your marketing tools, different types of strategies, like the look and the hook would be one of your marketing tools. The raving fan customers would be a marketing tool. Using social media, your database. See, we've already in 2 weeks started listing down marketing tools for you. And next week and the week after, I'll be showing you how to do your planned promotions. How many staffers are you going to use? Every time your business grows another step in volume, that means you're going to need to figure out a way to delegate to other people or other profit centers to bring the money in. What are your hours of operation going to be? Maybe you hadn't thought about that yet. Maybe it's 24/7. But I do want you to think about it. Remember that 4 days a week? Maybe in your family situation and what you've got going on with other jobs, because I know that most of you already have a full-time job somewhere else. And doing this is actually going to be stretching you out time-wise. So think about what hours you can operate your business. That's the beauty of having an internet site. You can take email in all the time. Talk about your business location, but do not give away private information. Like if you've got a place lined up that you're going to have your business and you're thinking about leasing it, don't tell a lot of people that, because sometimes that word will get out and someone will go rent it right out from under you. Be careful not to share too much information in your business plan. If you are looking at another location, all these factors are going to come into play. There will be a money cost related to each one of them, and either your landlord is going to pay for all this and raise your rent, or you don't do some of it yourself, or you don't do some of it yourself and ask your landlord for a discount, for a break. We can help you talk about that and explore all those possibilities. Or you don't need a management team, you need several people to help you. Let's think about that, who it might be and how you'll go about it. You want other people to invest in your money? Write it down, think about it. Do you need one investor with $50,000 or do you want 10 investors with $5,000 apiece? You want to go to a bank or a lending institution or an angel investor? Maybe you want to go to friends and family. Be thinking about that. Again, in week 4, we're going to focus on this. And any information you can give me before week 4 to put into that presentation, I'll be glad to do it. Part 7 of every financial plan gets down to the financial documents. The history, all about what you've been up to, how you've handled your money in the past, what type of records you have. Tell us about your finances, your financial statements. If you're an established business, then we're going to need a lot of historical data for a lender. If you're in a brief analysis of your skills and what's been going on. If you're a brand new business, we'll want as much history as we can put together. But here's what I need to mention to you. You're getting ready to start in the business now. And people you don't do business with that's checking you out financially, they're going to want to see some tax returns. If you're borrowing big bucks like from the SBA, they're going to want to see 5 years of tax returns. Now, I know that a lot of us getting started in business don't even file taxes if we're under certain income levels or because someone said we didn't need to, but you need to now. If you don't have your EIN number and get a business started, it's a good idea that you go ahead and file those taxes. Even if you go back to do it, it was easy to do. There's no penalty for doing it late if you didn't have to do it, but you want to have create a history of you paying your taxes on time. At least have 3 years of tax returns if you're planning on borrowing any money at all. So let's start today. Get ready to wind this thing up tonight. I really appreciate all of you being with us. This is where that I would like for you to go to your to the chat board and make sure that I have your first and last name. Make sure I have your email address spelled right. If you're getting email from me already, that's good, but I see some new names on here. I want to make sure we get them right. Tell me what town you're in and the type of business you're doing. As I know that and can share it with Bart, then we'll make these presentations adapt more to your needs than just the general public. We'll start fine-tuning these a lot as we move forward in the next weeks. So please use that chat board. Let me know. Give me any feedback that you have. What I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I said something you don't agree with. It's perfectly okay. I can take criticism. I spray myself down with Teflon all the time. And when you're out here working in the public, it's easy to make a slip up and to say something maybe you didn't mean to step on somebody's toes. But if I do, I'm sorry. But I'm really just trying to encourage you and motivate you to learn how to ride that bicycle without training wheels. Self-confidence you'll find in the drill skills. Self-assurance you will find in your mission and vision statements. So important. You're going to be a leader. When you own your own business in a community, you're a leader of all the other people that don't do that. So therefore, you are definitely a leader. And start being proud of that fact and acting like one and having the behavior that goes along with it. Make sure your Facebook presentation shows you as someone of stature and someone that other folks will be proud to be associated with. Maybe you don't have a clue about how to organize your business. Don't worry about it. We're going to show you. In the next 10 weeks, we're going to show you how to become organized as an entrepreneur. I can't give you the enthusiasm. Joanna, I can't hear you. Are you speaking? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I was looking at an old post there maybe. So y'all fill up those chat boards, okay? Make that happen. I want to see some enthusiasm because you know why? We're bringing it in for a landing tonight. Don't wait till things get perfect. They will never be perfect. Never, ever. You got to believe and trust in yourself. I'm going to believe and trust with you when I start seeing the homework assignments start coming in and you're showing some initiative on your own. That will just thrill me. You want to make me happy? Show me some initiative on yourself. But again, you're welcome just to ride along and take this at your pace. I don't want to push you to anywhere you don't want to go. But I do want to encourage you to, when you start doing some homework, your attitude will start improving because you'll see yourself learning lots and lots. No doubt about it. How about this fella? He is all stressed out, isn't he? I remember those days. But look here. This is where we're headed in a couple of weeks. They'll be rolling. They'll be coming along. Yeah, you might need a helping hand, but look at that smile on that young lady's face. That's great. Finding the balance. That's what Bart and I want you guys to do, is start finding your balance as entrepreneurs, because here we go. That's what we're after. That great big smile. Our safety helmet there represents all the risk management tools that we've taught you. Notice she's still got her training wheels on, but she is pedaling away and almost ready to take those off. At the end of this series, my friends, you will be able, I really believe you will be able to ride down that hill without training wheels with a great big smile on your face. So here are your homework. Here's the bad news. Create those MVP statements. Send copies to me. List your 5 profit centers with some idea on what the costs are going to be to your customer. A menu. do an introduction video right on your telephone. People are doing it every day. It'll take you less than 10 minutes. The good thing about these are you can hit that red button and erase it and keep doing them over and over and over again. As long as you keep it under, I think it's 24 seconds, you can email it to me. Of course, I don't teach you how to do longer ones, but at least start somewhere. Do a little video. I may share it with other people because we're going to all learn together. Memorize several drill skills and let me know which ones it is. I'm not going to put you on test online here, but I'd like to know that you're reading those drill skills and watching those videos. I got them there for you. It's free. Find my Facebook page, Anthony Stephen Carver. I want y'all to find that tonight before you go to bed. That way, find me and like and befriend, and that way I'll be able to find your Facebook to start encouraging you how to put include your business in Facebook. Also, look for my business page, which one of those is 360 Training. Anthony Stephen Carver 360 Training. Find that page if you will. Follow it. I'll see that you've been there. Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to work for you. Let your light shine. Let people notice you believe in something bigger than me and you, and you're looking for inspiration there and following it. I am so happy to be working for you and cannot wait for us to dive into so important subjects in the next few weeks, and so happy that y'all are hanging with us so much. So let me encourage you, if you'd like to, turn your mics back on, turn your videos on, and we'll chat a few minutes before we say goodnight. Anybody that's still with me, say hello.
Hello.
All right, that's Joanna. Thank you for staying with us. What'd you think?
I think it was very informative, and I have a lot of information because, like I told you earlier, I started my business, so it's a lot of information that I didn't even know.
That's fantastic. And are you you live right in Clinton?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Send me an email, or if you'd like in the chat, let me know what your home address is, where your office is. I might be able to drop by and say hello and get my nails done. Who knows?
That's great.
And I definitely want Sarita to know where it is, because she might come over there and check you out.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know Sarita?
No, I don't think I do.
Well, Sarita, I want you to meet Joanna. There she is. How are you doing tonight, Sarita?
I'm doing fine. I hope everybody's doing all right.
Yeah, we've had a good class. I hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you staying with us. Good, good. Jessica, are you still on board with us?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I do hear you. How's everything with you now? Did you enjoy the class?
I have. Well, I've learned. I was taking pictures of. I was trying to take as many pictures as I could of the screen, and was taking some notes. And it's a lot. It makes a lot of sense. It's like it's organized to be very prepared, to everything.
And if you when I send you the recording of this, you'll be able to stop that recording on each one of the screens, so you'll be able to have a screenshot on every, just like you're watching it here, and take the time with it as it's recording, because you can start and stop recording, on any screen you want to. So use that as a tool, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. And any other comments?
Yes, I was trying to find your Facebook page. I couldn't find it. A lot of stuff coming up, but none of it is not your page. Did you say?
Yeah, I found you, so I think I sent you a message. Do you see where I've left you any message? Or like? Okay, well, it's Anthony Stephen Carver, or you might just type in Steve Carver. You might find it either way. Dunn, North Carolina.
Carver. I put Carter extra.
Yeah, Carver.
Okay.
I appreciate you asking. Joanna, are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am, and I will be sending you a friend request.
All right. You see, we're gonna share this information with each other, and all of us to get ideas from everybody else, especially when we start doing our videos.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, y'all take care. Want you to send me emails. Let me know any way I can help you. Let me say to you good night, and God bless you and your family, and I hope you have a great weekend.
And you do the same.
Thank you too.
Okay. Good night, and take care.
Good night.
Good night.